Today we are presenting the sonnet How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Barron Browning, presented by Shamara Williams and Taylor Holt. This is the sonnet that we have chosen. It is How Do I Love Thee by Elizabeth Browning. You can take the time to read it. It is 14 lines long and it's an Italian sonnet. The purpose of it being written. In 1850, How Do I Love Thee was published in the Sonnets collection from the Portuguese. This poem demonstrates how much the poet strives to love this unknown person. Paraphrase. In this poem, Elizabeth is giving us insight on how much she loves, but she doesn't give a specific name or tell us exactly who it is. During the beginning, she asks, How do I love thee? Then proceeds to give us reasons or ways on how she does. She is very passionate about the sincere love she has for whoever this is directed to, and the love they share will be for life and even after death. Throughout the poem, she repeats, How do I love thee, which is in her own way listing all the things she loves. In this poem, love is very powerful to her, and love makes her feel like she can achieve anything in the world. This poem is very romantic and shows us the power of love throughout the poem in her words. Key literary devices. During the poem, Elizabeth compares her love with another description to make her love seem more evocative. First, she says, I love thee freely as men strive for right, which is a simile. She is comparing how she loves with no hesitation to men deciding what they want to do freely on their own will. Next, she says, I love thee purely as they turn from praise, which is also a simile. The poet expresses that she does not need to be praised for loving someone genuinely. Continued. In lines 9 through 12, it is showing irony. At one point in her life, she wanted to overcome her last disappointments, but now it is ironic that she is taking that same energy from the negative things and turning it into something positive. She says, Most Quiet Need by Sun and Candlelight, which is line 6, and in my old griefs in which my childhood's faith, line 10, is imagery. She makes us imagine the way she feels by putting it into a perspective where we have to use our senses to figure it out. She also says, I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. She is stating that she loves deep and high, and no matter how deep or how much she loves, her soul is still able to reach to it.
So we chose the song Grenade by Bruno Mars, and as you can see, this is an example of an octave sonnet, where there are several lines in between before a word actually starts to rhyme. For our thesis, we said, given in the sonnet, How Do I Love Thee, the narrator expresses how the poet seeks to love the unknown person, no matter the circumstances. And at the end I added, it is shown in the poem by the way the love is described in the poet's perspective, that the love is deep and is worth striving for. For our sonnet type, it is an octave sonnet, and an octave is a verse form consisting of 8 lines, and the most common rhyme scheme for an octave is ABBA, ABBA. Usually when you see a poem that has several lines in between before it starts to rhyme, and then the rhyme starts to change where there's only one line in between before it starts to rhyme, that is when you have an octave at the beginning and a sestet sonnet at the end, which are usually found together in one poem. For our thematic statement, we said, when you love, you do everything you can just to make things work, which means when you love someone so much, you would do anything you can to keep that person in your life. And this is our group members and tasks, where Shamari did part 1 and I did part 2.